Episode 3, The Encounter by the Sêrêpôk River. As the dual curses of the harsh dry season gripped the central highlands in their unrelenting vice, the fragile peace between the kingdom of fire and the kingdom of water unraveled thread by thread, like an ancient tapestry exposed to the elements. Border skirmishes, once rare and swiftly resolved, escalated into fierce clashes where warriors from the east, their throats parched and eyes blazing with desperation, raided western streams only to find them scalding and unusable. Accusations flew across the misty mountains like poisoned arrows, envoys returned empty-handed, their diplomatic pleas drowned out by shouts of betrayal. In the east, Sêrêpôk's people huddled in their sun-baked villages, rationing the last drops from hidden caches, while shamans danced feverishly around dying embers, imploring Jung for answers that never came. In the west, Sêrêpôk's folk barricaded their riverbanks, warding off intruders with spears and spells, as the boiling waters claimed more lives in accidental scaldings and ruined harvests. The sacred stone slab in the hidden valley, once a beacon of unity, now bore deeper cracks that spiderwebbed across its surface, its runes flickering faintly like a heartbeat on the verge of failure. Whispers from the forest depths grew louder, hinting at a shadowy puppeteer orchestrating the chaos, but paranoia blinded the kings to anything beyond their mutual suspicions. War drums began to echo in the distance, their rhythms syncing with the pounding hearts of a people teetering on the brink of all-out conflict. Amid this brewing storm, a young prince from the kingdom of fire embarked on a perilous quest that would unwittingly weave a new thread into the fraying fabric of fate. Dam San, the eldest son of Sêrêpôk, was a spitting image of his father, tall and broad-shouldered, with sun-bronzed skin etched from endless hunts and a mane of jet-black hair that flowed like wildfire in the wind. But where his father embodied the unyielding blaze of leadership, Dam San carried a spark of curiosity and quiet introspection, honed by stories of the covenant told around village bonfires. At 20 summers old, he had grown into a skilled warrior and tracker, his hands calloused from wielding spears and his eyes sharp from scanning the horizons for prey. Yet the drought had stripped him of his usual vigor, his once mighty frame now leaned with exhaustion, and his spirit burned with a restless urgency to save his people. "Father," he had pleaded in the dim light of the bamboo palace, as Sêrêpôk gripped Gumsaga with knuckles white from frustration, "let me venture beyond our borders. The scouts speak of untouched springs in the neutral lands. If I can find water, pure, cool water, it might ease our suffering and prove the West's innocence, or guilt." The king, his face a mask of worry and pride, had reluctantly agreed, arming his son with a concealed dagger forged from sacred metals and a warning, "Trust no one, my son. The waters may run hot with treachery." Dam San set out at dawn, when the sun's first rays painted the cracked earth in mocking gold, slipping through the eastern frontiers under the cover of thorny thickets and shadowed ravines. He traveled light, carrying only a leather waterskin long emptied and a pouch of dried herbs to stave off thirst. The journey was arduous, the once familiar paths now choked with dust devils and the skeletons of fallen beasts, but his determination fueled him like an inner flame. As he crested the misty mountains that divided the realms, the air grew heavier with moisture, a tantalizing hint of what lay beyond. Descending into the hidden valley where the covenant had been born, Dam San paused at the colossal ancient tree, its roots delving deep like the fingers of forgotten gods. He touched the cracked sacred slab, feeling a faint pulse of energy that stirred uneasy memories of unity, but thirst drove him onward, toward the modest stream that bisected the valley, the Sêrêpôk River, its waters now swollen and turbulent from the western curses, yet still a lifeline in the neutral heart of the wilderness. It was there, by the river's edge where the current whispered secrets against smooth stones, that fate intervened in the form of a chance encounter. As Dam San knelt to scoop what he hoped was drinkable water, his parched lips cracking with anticipation, a soft rustle from the opposite bank caught his ear. Emerging from the mist-shrouded ferns was Baya, the beloved daughter of Sêrêpôk, a vision of grace amid the chaos. At 18 springs, she was the embodiment of her kingdom's essence, slender and ethereal, with eyes as deep and reflective as river pools, and long silver-tinged hair that cascaded like moonlight on waves, inherited from her father's wise lineage. Clad in flowing blue fabrics woven from river reeds and adorned with polished stones that gleamed like captured droplets, Baya had ventured to the Sêrêpôk on a similar mission of mercy. "The boiling has spread even here," she had confided to her attendants before slipping away alone, armed only with a vial of calming herbs and her father's unspoken blessing. If I can draw pure essence from the source, perhaps it will cool our tormented springs. Her people revered her not just for her beauty, but for her profound empathy, a gift that allowed her to commune with water spirits in ways that eluded even the shamans. Their eyes met across the rippling waters, his fierce and guarded, hers curious and serene, and for a moment, the curses of the highlands seemed to fade into silence. Damsan tensed, his hand instinctively reaching for his dagger, mistaking her for a western scout. But Baya, sensing his desperation in the hollows of his cheeks and the dust caking his skin, raised a hand in peace. "Stranger from the east," she called, her voice melodic like the babble of a brook, "you seek what we all crave, relief from this madness. Come, drink from my side, the waters here run cooler, untainted by the boil." Weary but driven by thirst that clawed at his throat, Damsan waded across the shallow ford, the river's current tugging at his legs like a reluctant embrace. She offered him a gourd filled with crystal-clear water drawn from a hidden eddy, its chill a balm that washed away the dust of his journey. As he drank deeply, life surging back into his veins, Baya watched with a gentle smile, her deep eyes reflecting the flickering light on the waves. Gratitude softened Damsan's defenses, and they sat on the mossy banks, the Sêrêpôk flowing between them like a living bridge. Words tumbled forth, tales of suffering on both sides, the drought's merciless grip and the scalding fury of the springs. "Our people starve under an endless sun," Damsan confessed, his voice rough with emotion. "We fear your jewel has cursed us." Baya shook her head, her silver hair shimmering. "And ours burn in waters turned to fire. We suspect your sword's wrath. But look around, the river flows neither hot nor dry here, perhaps the true enemy hides in the shadows." As the sun dipped toward the peaks, casting golden hues on the water, Baya spoke words that would etch themselves into his soul. If there were no water, fire would consume all in its path, leaving only ashes. If there were no fire, water would grow cold and lifeless, a frozen void without warmth or spark. "We are bound, like this river, eternal partners in balance." Her wisdom, drawn from the depths of her heritage, ignited a spark of understanding in Damsan's heart, melting the barriers of suspicion. In that shared moment by the Sêrêpôk, amid the whispers of forest spirits and the gentle rush of the current, something profound took root between them, a budding love, tender as a new sprout pushing through cracked earth, and a mutual empathy that transcended the curses dividing their worlds. They parted with promises whispered under the ancient tree, to seek truth beyond accusations, to meet again in secret. But as Damsan returned east with his filled waterskin and a heart alight, and Baya slipped back west with vials of cooled essence and dreams of unity, the shadows in the wilderness stirred anew, sensing the fragile hope that could either heal the rift or shatter it forever.